According to circulating rumors, T.I. is said to have made shocking revelations about his son, King Harris, amid ongoing family tensions that have fueled widespread speculation. Some even claim there is a serious conflict between them involving accusations and statements, music, that may have escalated to a legal level. According to the rumors, between buzz, controversy, and alleged shocking revelations, the internet is exploding. Music. And in this video, we break down everything that is being said about the situation. In September 2022, King Harris, the son of T.I. and Tamika Tiny Harris, was arrested in Atlanta. The 18-year-old was arrested for not wearing a seatbelt in his car, and a video clip surfaced online showing a female voice explaining the charges to him, telling the young artist he had 4 counts against him with the arrest. What did King do when he got out? He laughed about the arrest and said, "The king is back. Bro, I am music back. I'm free." That reaction was not received well, not by the public and not by his father. T.I. took to Instagram Live shortly after, and the words he used were not the words of a man defending his son. "I know my son. You think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama and they grandmamas, his ass going to prison. If he keep that up, his ass going to prison." He continued, "Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'ma be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. I've already had the conversation. I've already made my peace with it." Then came the part that hit people the hardest. "'Cause I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's going to turn out." T.I. was drawing a direct line from his own criminal past to his son's present. He recognized the walk. He recognized the talk. The rapper served time himself in the 2000s on drug and gun charges, a federal stint at Arkadelphia. He knew what was waiting at the end of the road. King was, music, on, but he wasn't done. King's a good kid chasing after the wrong, he said. "I trust in God to deal with it the way that he see fit." And then he laid out the reality of the situation. As a father, King done got all the whoopings. He done got the punishments. He did everything as a child you can do to him. So now, he gonna have to go through it and get through it. That's a father standing on a public platform telling millions of people that he has tried everything, that his toolbox is empty, and that life itself is the only teacher left. And the internet went wild. Some said T.I. was being a real one. Others said a father should never give up on his son. But T.I. wasn't speaking in the abstract. He was speaking from experience, from years of watching King Harris follow a path that looked familiar. T.I. has had his own dealings with the law, including arrests for drug and weapon convictions, and even served time in prison. So it's no surprise he's trying to derail his son to make better choices than he did at that age. He even said on that same live stream, "This ain't free, this come at a cost. I can't believe this, man. Why y'all don't make some __ love music? Y'all got girls out here. Why don't you talk about being in love?" Man, he was begging his son to change course, and King wasn't listening. To understand why T.I. reached the breaking point with his son, you have to rewind to a day in late November 2023, when the Harris family drama spilled out into the open in the most spectacular way possible. T.I. and his son, King Harris, were involved in a heated argument regarding music, the teenager's silver spoon upbringing, an exchange that ultimately turned into a physical altercation between the two. The setting was the Atlanta Falcons game against the New Orleans Saints on November 26, 2023. T.I. had been performing at the game in honor of the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. It should have been a celebration, music, a proud moment for family. It turned into something else entirely. Music. In a clip that surfaced on social media, T.I. questions his son about his experience being subjected to poor living conditions while growing up. "King, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?" The Bankhead rep can be heard asking. "All right, then, you don't know what you're talking about." King didn't back down, not 1 inch. He offered to show T.I., his mother Tiny, and others in the room a presumable drug den in a neighborhood he frequents as proof of his affiliation with the streets. "Do y'all want to go to the bando in my neighborhood?" he asked before accusing T.I. of lying. To make him look better, he say __ that he know not true. "Silver spoon, I ain't Never ate without a day in my life. Tiny then chimed in, telling King he did have a silver spoon, with King interjecting by claiming that he often spent time at his grandmother's house. I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. Tiny grabbed the phone at one point and dropped a bombshell on the live stream. I'm going to tell you the reason why he wanted to be over there. 'Cause he can suck a pacifier over there till he was 12 years old. He didn't do that at the house. He cried like a baby. That comment on a public Instagram live, with the whole world watching, sent King over the edge. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. Why would you let someone play with me like that? The atmosphere in that suite went from tense to explosive. Music. Tiny can be seen separating him from T.I., who eventually grabs his son and places him in a headlock, as King struggles to free himself from the hold. And while he had his son locked down, T.I. laid into him verbally with a kind of harshness that silenced the room. You are embarrassing yourself and your family. Boy, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't __. You can do with me, he says while others attempt to defuse the altercation before the clip ends. But the story didn't end there. Later that day, King took to his Instagram to continue to seemingly lash out at his father. I stand on business. Don't give __, who music you are. Eat gaff. Who, or __, can't play with me in my face. Not going for duh. I'm a grown man now. And then came the post that made everyone pause. The teen alluded to being told his birth was a mistake, while again accusing his father of fabricating an image. If I'm a mistake, say that. Stop making the world think you __, with me when you don't. Be faking an image for the internet. King Harris's Instagram posts were later deleted. A teenage son, calling himself a mistake, telling the world his father doesn't care about him, all live on the internet. The clip went everywhere. His parents argued that he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, but King disputed this, and what the world saw was a fractured family operating under the brightest of spotlights. The Falcons game explosion didn't happen in a vacuum. King Harris had been building a reputation long before November 2023, and not the kind his father wanted. Most of the world was first introduced to King Harris as the elementary school-age child of T.I. and Tiny on the Family Hustle reality show. He was a cute kid, a charming kid, a kid who grew up in mansions and traveled in motorcades. But as King got older, the cute factor gave way to something else entirely. In 2022, King went viral for an incident at a Waffle House in Atlanta. Video footage showed T.I. and Tiny's son getting into a heated dispute with several employees at a local Waffle House after the 17-year-old received unwanted pickles in his meal. The rapper recorded the entire encounter via his Instagram live. Pickles. The whole thing was over pickles. One worker invited King to approach the cooking area of the store to fight. King did not bow out and soon hopped on the counter as if ready to accept the offer. Come here. I'll show you what I can do, he yelled repeatedly. Later, he walked outside but continued to taunt the employee and threatened to pistol whip him. The internet absolutely demolished him over it. People on social media were stunned, with mentions of his famous father quickly pouring in. Tiny to come get his son. Music. This is not the way, wrote one YouTube user. I know his parents raised him better than that. Use your manners. T.I. himself responded, questioning why his son felt the need to engage with a fast food worker in the first place. He said that he and King's uncles talked to him about his behavior, saying, "We were perplexed by his necessity to go back and forth with the short-order cook." King received online backlash from social music media users who believe the young musician glorifies a street life that he never actually lived. And that became a recurring theme. A kid who grew up in gated communities, who had access to resources music most young men in Atlanta could only dream of, was out here playing gangster for the gram. In 2020, music. King was filmed fighting in a school bathroom. By 2022, music. He was getting arrested. By 2023, he was throwing hands with his own father at a football game. The trajectory was going one direction, and it was not up. His mother, Tiny, tried to defend him. Music. She said, King has always been my sweetheart, but a terror at the same time. Nah, he ain't from the hood, but unlike any siblings, he stayed in trouble. Music. Fighting all the damn time. Slap boxing in school, every day like it was a sport. Tiny added. But every parent with multi-children know that it's always at one. Music. And Tiny went even further at a Charlie Wilson concert in late December 2023. Music. Defending King on Instagram Live. King be standing on business all the time, she said. He's a good guy, though. One thing about King, though, he don't start no underscore underscore. He don't run from no underscore underscore, but he don't start no shit. A mother doing what mothers do. But the world was watching a young man spiral, and the music footage was stacking up against him. Then came October 2024. Harris was arrested in Dunwoody, Georgia, after being pulled over while driving a BMW. Police reported Music that he nearly collided with a patrol car when leaving a gas station. Officers said they detected the odor of marijuana. Music and found Harris carrying a firearm on his hip. And when officers ran his information, they discovered something Music else. There was a warrant out for King's arrest in Pickens County for failure to appear in court. He was charged in August 2022 with speeding, knowingly driving a motor vehicle on a suspended music license, and driving under the influence of drugs. In September 2024, there was an arraignment notice returned and a bench warrant issued. The cop Music proceeded to check out King's information, learning he had a warrant from Pickens County. After escorting King to his patrol vehicle, the cop said he conducted a pat-down before putting him in the back seat. King was arrested and subsequently taken to DeKalb County Jail. He was with two others in the car, and 2 small baggies of marijuana were allegedly found in a search of the vehicle. Every single thing I warned about in 2022 was coming true, one headline at a time. By early 2026, something shifted. I was in the middle of a creative resurgence. Music, working on what he called his retirement album, Kill the King. Meanwhile, Let Him Know was one of the early hits of 2026. The song, part of T.I.'s retirement album, Kill the King, is currently #1 at Urban Radio and on several charts. But at the same time, a long simmering feud with 50 Cent exploded in the most public and chaotic way imaginable, and King Harris was right in the middle of it. T.I. and 50 Cent reignited Music, their long simmering feud after T.I. claimed he lost all respect for 50 when he backed out of Music, a proposed resumes battle that would have highlighted their respective catalogs. Shortly after those comments began circulating, 50 posted a photo of Tiny to his Instagram, Music, seemingly mocking her. That was the trigger. When 50 Cent went after Tiny, the Harris family mobilized. The Harris family, T.I., and sons Domani and King released a slew of diss tracks aimed at 50. Music. King did not hold back. On Sunday, February 22nd, the rising rapper took to his Instagram stories with an explicit Music expletive-laced rant after the 50-year-old mogul shared an unflattering photo of Tiny. And then King crossed a line that even his own father couldn't defend. King entered the feud after 50 posted an unflattering photo of Tiny on his Instagram. Want to say something about my mama? Music. Your mama dead. Go dig her up. He was referencing 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, who died in 1983. Music, when 50 was just 8 years old. King later posted an image of a tombstone to his stories with the caption, "This where your mama at." He even appeared wearing a t-shirt emblazoned with an image of 50 Music Cent's deceased mother. King released a diss track called Made Man, in which he attacks the rapper for throwing shots at his mother, Tiny Harris. Music. T.I. himself also jumped on wax. T.I. also responded to 50 Music with a new diss track titled The Right One. But T.I. was asked directly, did he enjoy watching his sons go Music to war for the family? The answer was immediate and unambiguous. "No, I don't enjoy it," said Ty. "I spent so much time trying to get this Lil off the ledge." Now, he has justifiable. Means to undo all the teaching that I've been teaching. Music. When pressed about the t-shirt with 50's deceased mother, T.I. drew the line firmly. Music. I said that's enough when I seen that t-shirt. I'm big on treating people the way I want to be treated. I don't just be out here doing unto others how I don't want to be dealt with. Yet T.I. also admitted he felt a complicated pride watching his son's music defend their mother. I raised my children to be men of respect, logical, reasonable, and not to be emotional. The one thing that I am proud of this is that the women and children in our family see that it's a line of men that's here against who the FK ever. We not here to defeat. I'm here to defend. I'm here to protect what's ours. I die music in the streets about this shish here. The 50-cent beef revealed the impossible position T.I. occupies as King's father. He can't tell his son not to defend his mother, but he also can't endorse the recklessness, the disrespect of the dead, the scorched earth approach that King brings to every conflict. Music, T.I. was watching his worst fears play out in real time. His son using a justified cause as an excuse to unleash music. Exactly the kind of behavior that T.I. had been desperately trying to steer him away from. So here's where this story takes a turn that nobody expected. After years of public fights, arrests, music, viral altercations, and internet humiliation, something started to change between T.I. and King Harris. It has been a messy couple of years for T.I. and his son, King Harris. It was only in 2023 that the father and son got into it at a Falcons game. Not only did they get into it, but King live-streamed it, too. Now, word on the street is that the two are starting to see eye to eye. In a radio interview, King opened up about the relationship in a way that nobody had heard from him before. According to Harris, it's because his dad is taking a little bit more accountability. We kind of are at an understanding of who we are and what we got going on, and we're 100% working with each other. Over the past year, the father and son duo have been able to mend their relationship, with Harris attributing their rift to their being so much alike. And T.I. started talking about King with unmistakable affection. T.I. complimented his son while appearing on The Breakfast Club in December 2025, saying, "Music. He's extremely talented, has a huge heart, and he cares a lot." Commenting on his behavior, he added, "He's young, bro. If I think about where I was when I was his age, when he was running around and enjoying his youth, you can spend your youth however you want to, and that's how he chose to spend his. And that's his prerogative. He believes the world should simply let the man grow up without judgment as he navigates life." By December 2024, T.I. and King Harris were performing together during iHeartRadio 96. Won the Beach Jingle Ball 2024 at State Farm Arena in Atlanta. The same father and son who were in a headlock at the Falcons game a year earlier were now sharing a stage. Instead, music of viral arguments. Their live stream started going viral for their humor and the dynamic between them. King threw a baby shower for his girlfriend, Big Nana, and proudly announced the birth of King Jr. on November 5th, 2024. Fans wondered if this was a turning point, the moment King would finally slow down. Fatherhood, it seems, may have been the teacher that T.I. always said life would be. So does T.I. believe his son deserved to die? No, that has never been what T.I. said. What he said, in the rawest and most painful public admission a father can make, is that he recognized the path his son was on because he had walked it himself. He said his son was headed to prison. Music. He said he couldn't stop it. He said he had made his peace with the possibility. But making peace with the possibility is not the same as wishing for it. Music. T.I. grew up in Bankhead, Atlanta, where the life expectancy for young black men in the streets was short and brutal. When he said, his ass going to prison, and I know that energy. I was that energy. He was saying that the streets don't care who your father is. They don't care about your last name. They take what they take, and if you play the game long enough, you pay the price. The truth is that Ty has been fighting for his son's life in his own complicated, messy, sometimes music contradictory way since the very beginning. He fought with tough love. He fought with public call-outs. He fought with headlocks at football games. He fought by telling Music King on national radio that he was an embarrassment. And he fought by standing next to King on stage when the kid finally started to come around. T.I. said, I'm going to love him all the way through whatever it is he's going through, and S, man, he's going to learn his lessons. Life is going to teach him all the lessons that he needs to know, and that's the most that we can do. That's the best we can ask for. That's not a father who wants his son to die. That's a father who's been to the edge himself and came back, and now stands helpless watching his son flirt with the same cliff, praying the boy turns around before it's too late. And based on the last year of reconciliation, shared performances, and King's journey into fatherhood himself, it seems like that prayer might actually be getting answered